Entering the atmosphere in T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Omega Metroid Podcast from OmegaMetroid.com. My name is Andy Spiteri, joined as always by Doominal Crossing. What's up, Doom? How are you?
We're back. It's oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about that I've been through in the last couple of weeks, and we probably won't be able to get to much of any of it. But yeah, long story short, as you might have noticed from my absence, I've been in the process of moving, and we're in the new pad now, so all the YouTube viewers can see an early look of what's to come. We finally just got internet installed a few days ago in the place. We got fiber internet for the first time in my life, so that's been really cool.
Nice.
And otherwise we're enjoying some new game announcements. Been watching the Knicks face off against the Spurs. I was hoping Knicks would take it to 3-0, but we're 2-1 now, so I'm hoping the Knicks can pull it off and get their first championship since 1973. It's been very exciting.
You know why they lost, right?
I definitely know, and the whole stadium,
the curse is real.
The whole stadium let him know.
Yes. 0-11, I think, is the stat for the current president attending New York sports games. So there you go, and good to see that he had a good nap during the game as well. Viewers on YouTube might also be able to see your Super Metroid shirt, and that is the only Super Metroid that we will be seeing on this show. Although I do want to say, the other day, Gooey and I got together and we recorded the first episode of Season 3 of Gooey Plays Metroid, and this season is Gooey Plays Super Metroid. So very, very excited about that. We talked up until the Kraid boss fight. So now this game actually Goo had played before, but with the context of the first two games and even the context of Metroid Dread and Metroid Prime, which Goo had not played when he played Super Metroid, it was a really interesting discussion to go in and relive and re-experience Super Metroid. So if you are, after today, looking for your Super Metroid fix, Doom has you covered on YouTube, and I have you covered on patreon.com/SPNet. So there it is. There's my plug. Right off the top of the show.
I honestly, I didn't think we were going to get Super Metroid in the Direct, but I figured, you know what? A little good luck can't hurt anyone. Well, we all know what happened, so.
I was like half and half. I was kind of expecting. My thought was like, if Super Metroid is going to show up, it's going to open the Direct. And when it didn't, I was like, I think it's pretty unlikely. And yeah. So we'll talk about that. We have a lot to go through. Typical Nintendo fashion. So I recorded the Zelda cast on Sunday. I was like, man, it'd be great if we had a Nintendo Direct. Published the episode at like 9 a.m. on Monday, and then like 10 a.m. on Monday, they were like, oh, by the way, Nintendo Direct for tomorrow. A typical classic Nintendo move right there. So we have a Nintendo Direct to react to and talk about today. We are also going to quickly go over some of the pertinent games that were announced at Summer Games Fest. If you want to talk about some of the stuff from the Xbox showcase, we'll keep it brief, but we can talk about that, Doom. And then the original plan for today was to go over and kind of review and analyze the first year of the Switch 2, and we'll try and hide that in. I'm going to play the same game today with you, Doom, that Allison and I played over on the Zelda cast as well. So lots to get into here today on a Tuesday. So I guess without further ado, are you ready to go?
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
Okay, well, I want to start off, Doom, with the Summer Games Fest stuff, because I think that there was less, I would say, like, games that were like announced necessarily, but more Metroid adjacent games, I would say. So let's start off with a couple of the biggest announcements there. I think one of the big ones that is going to stick out for Metroid fans is Castlevania Belmont's Curse. It's got a release date, October 15th. Does not have a release date on the Switch, though, very curiously. This is just Xbox, PlayStation, I believe Steam as well, I believe.
Yes.
So October is the day. October 15th, Castlevania is coming out. This game looks awesome, dude. This game looks incredible.
Yeah, I saw the new trailer and I was just like, yep, this looks rad as hell. That's a day one buy for me, absolutely. And I don't want to spoil our entire episode catalog because for the folks who don't know, we actually have episodes planned all the way till April of next year. That's how far out in the pipeline. And one of those slots is reserved for, I'll just tell you right now, and inspired by Metroid, Belmont's Curse. That is 100% happening.
Yeah, that will probably happen sometime in October. I'm guessing, unless like the Switch version is announced like for a month later. I could probably hold out for a month, but this game looks really, really good. Like I think it looks really awesome. This trailer I thought was just bonkers. So I'm really excited about this. The artwork looks super dope. You're playing as Rose Belmont, and just man, this looks just an absolute awesome return to form. So let's hope that it can stick the landing and be as great as it looks. But I'm really optimistic about this. I'm feeling really good, and you know what? I'm begging Konami to continue with the 2D Castlevanias here, because man, we didn't know how good we had it on the Nintendo DS and Game Boy Advance back in the day, you know.
Yeah. I hope this is the start of something beautiful to come. And you know what? Hey, maybe they even figure out a new take on like 3D Castlevania that ends up like really working as well. Like I want to see them go all out with Castlevania, but yeah, this looks fantastic, and I'm pretty optimistic it's gonna stick the landing.
Yeah, it looks awesome. You know what? I will even say actually, some of those PS2 3D Castlevanias I thought were like really good actually. So there you go. But yeah, we got a couple other games that were announced, and the biggest game probably for Metroid fans beyond Castlevania was the announcement of Alien Isolation 2. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
This looks awesome.
Yeah, this was teased about a month ago in a very kind of vague trailer, but it wasn't officially. It was on the Alien Isolation account, but it was just kind of nothing else was given. But we have the official confirmation: Alien Isolation 2. I own Alien Isolation, but I'm a baby, so I haven't played it yet. I am probably gonna muster up the courage to finally tackle this game before Isolation 2 comes out. Maybe I'll stream it, and you can all see me be a baby live on stream.
Dude, you know what I'm gonna say is like, play that game on easy mode, and I'm not kidding. Like that game is so stressful. Like it's not even like scary per se. It's just like it's stressful, man. Like the alien stalking you, and every move could be your last. Play it on easy mode, dude. There's no shame in that. I might play this game on easy mode as well, just to get reacquainted. But yeah, really, really excited for this. I think like Alien Isolation is, I mean, maybe one of the last great 3D Metroidvanias that I can think of. Maybe I'm missing a couple, but I just like, man, that game was so intense and so awesome, and you know, I'm in a way like I'm almost okay that it took so long to get a sequel, because I think you do want those games to kind of be special. But like I think the story was really great too. Like it could fit right in with the existing Alien lore. So yeah, lots to like about Alien Isolation. This trailer I thought looks like super awesome. Just again, grotesque, scary, creepy. I'm excited for this. Don't think they had a release date though.
No, I don't believe so. That definitely felt like at least a 2027 game at the earliest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just happy it's official and out in the wild now.
Yep. So that was a big one for a lot of people. I'm going to talk a little bit, Doom, about a couple titles that I was really excited for, and I'm going to start off with Resident Evil Veronica, which is the long-awaited remake of Code Veronica. I'm really stoked for this one. I never really played Code Veronica back in the day. I was a Nintendo gamer and it skipped the N64. It was PlayStation only, so I never really got to play. Like, I played Resident Evil 3 way later and then just never got around to Code Veronica. So, like, I know the story, but I've never really experienced it myself. So I'm really looking forward to this one, actually. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was a huge announcement. So I'm not much of a Resident Evil guy. I do want to play Resident Evil 4, though, because that looks right up my alley. But, like, yeah, the first game was a little bit too, kind of to use that word again, a little bit too stressful for me. So I was just like, I had to put that one down for my own sanity. But I know a lot of Resident Evil fans have wanted this game to be remade for quite a while.
Yeah.
So really cool that it's finally happening.
Mm-hmm. I think you would really enjoy Resident Evil 2, the remake Doom. It's a great 3D Metroidvania, actually. Speaking of, like, it's one of the all-time great 3D Metroidvanias, I would say. So that one is certainly worth checking out as well. I was a little bit bummed, I guess. I don't know if bummed is the right word, but like, so this one's going to be in a first-person kind of hybrid style play. I would have preferred just like straight-up third-person action shooter kind of idea, but regardless, I think that this is going to be really, really fun. And of course, the biggest announcement, I think, of the entire day is Tifa Lockhart in Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, rip Tekken fans.
Fits like a glove, man. I was that's the only reason I would buy Street Fighter 6 is to play as Tifa, I gotta say. But yeah, no, the biggest announcement of the whole day, undoubtedly, was Final Fantasy VII Revelation. Dude, I'm so into this. I'm so looking forward to this. I have not played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth yet. I'm going to play it as soon as the Zelda Dungeon Marathon is over, and I'm getting ready for the final, I'm presuming what's going to be the final chapter of the trilogy of the Final Fantasy VII Remake saga. So I really, really liked Final Fantasy VII Remake. Very, very cool and not really what I expected. So yeah, I'm like really excited about this. And it's launching on the Switch too, same time as everyone else.
Yeah, I feel like Rebirth just came out like a couple of years ago now. Like they pumped this one out like really fast. Like
they did, yeah.
Much faster than I would have like ever anticipated. I almost wonder if like, game development is starting to escape that post-COVID slump now, and maybe, not for all titles. I'm sure we're still going to experience a lot of long game developments, but I wonder if we'll start to see maybe some quicker developments start to trickle in now. Because yeah, that was like really unexpected. I was like, whoa, already?
Well, even like Rebirth didn't take that long after Remake. Like Remake came out in 2020.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was so that was a really cool surprise there. I would be remiss though if I didn't talk about the big bad boy coming in November, the game that everyone is scared to release against, and I'm of course talking about Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee Remastered. That game was my freaking childhood. I would have never in a million years expected that to come back. So I am so happy to suplex some of those titans all over again.
I remember playing that on my GameCube, and it was a fun romp, I will say. So I'm happy that it's getting a new lease on life. Because there's some highlights there. Because you can unlock like a bunch of different monsters and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, there's like a ton of like unlockable. You can even unlock Godzilla 2000 in that as well. Like there's so much like content, and I'm sure there's going to be even more content in this remaster. It's only $30 too, so I don't know if I'm going to pick it up day one because I'm probably going to be pretty busy with releases during the holiday, but that's definitely one that I want to pick up eventually and get some of the gang back together to just throw down with.
Yeah. So there it is, Summer Games Fest. A pretty solid show, I think, for like what those shows kind of are. I think that they've like certainly gravitated away from any meaningful Nintendo kind of news, which is really what I'm more so interested in above everything else. I saw some people argue that the Nintendo Direct steered away from any meaningful Nintendo news as well. So I guess who am I to say? But we'll talk about. Well, actually, before we talk about the Nintendo Direct, do you have anything that you wanted to shout out from the Xbox Direct? I did not have a chance to watch. I really only saw the like splash card of all the titles announced too, and I think like Sony actually had a presentation as well. Like everybody had a presentation this week.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, this like kind of felt like E3 because everyone was kind of coalescing all their presentations together, which we really haven't seen since E3. So that was like really fun, and I think for the most part I was pretty satisfied with a lot of the presentations. I actually thought this was like easily the best Summer Games Fest we had yet. There's actually one more game before we go to Xbox that I want to talk about, and that's
Sure.
Star Wars Zero Company, which this game has already been announced before. It's kind of like an XCOM tactics take on Star Wars. Takes place in the Clone Wars. This game wasn't really on my radar before, but man, they showed off a new trailer, and this game looks like really fun. Definitely gave a lot of like XCOM Mario plus Rabbids vibes, and I don't know. I'm gonna wait for reviews, but like that one really caught my attention. I hope it delivers. I feel like Star Wars games has been delivering a lot more than the other Star Wars content lately. Andor aside.
Yeah. Yeah. Allison was pretty excited about that. So, excited for the people that are excited for that. So there you go. Anything else from Summer Games Fest before we move on to the Xbox presentation?
I wish we got a new Rayman game instead of Rayman Legends retold. Looks gorgeous. I think we were talking about this. I think it looks a lot better in motion than in screen caps. I think it kind of looks ugly in screenshots, but I like the way it looks in motion. But even so, I don't think a remake was the right call. I think they should have done a new Rayman game. So I hope it turns out good. I hope it leads to a new Rayman game, but I'd be lying if I was a little disappointed in that.
Fair. Okay, well let's shift over to the Xbox presentation. There's too many things, like the Nintendo Direct, the State of Play. What's the Xbox one called? Is it just like the Showcase or something like that?
I think it's just called the Xbox Showcase. I genuinely can't even remember.
I will. It's called the Xbox Games Showcase. You know what? There's nothing wrong with that. They keep it simple.
Right.
Really quickly, I'll just kind of run through some highlights here. So Gears of War E-Day is announced. I don't know what's up with that game. I think it's just like a new shooter. I'm not really sure. I fell off Gears of War like after the first or second one. This series hasn't really done a whole lot for me.
Yeah, you're not a Gears of War guy, yeah.
I'm not, no. It was really fun to play, but I remember playing the first game, and it felt like I started like 2/3 of the way through the game's story. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, maybe it fixes itself. There's the Fable remake, which looks neat. Not on my radar, I'm gonna say. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot else to say about Fable. Halo Campaign Evolved. I don't know. What did you think about that? Like, I'm not gonna get this, but like I was just kind of, this one felt to me, and we could probably talk about this later. But this one felt to me like a quick and easy, like, I don't want to say cash grab, but like something that I don't know. I took a look at it. It looks great, but I'm not sure like who this is for necessarily.
So they actually first announced this back in November at like one of the Halo championships, and when they first announced it, I was not on board at all. It just kind of looked like the first level they showed. It was the Silent Cartographer. That's iconic Halo level. And it looked like one of those. It looked like one of those Nintendo hire this man's kind of like Unreal Engine tech demos that really isn't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
This new trailer though, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it looked a lot better in this new trailer. It definitely had more of a Halo identity to it rather than like the most ultra realistic rock textures that you've ever seen in your life. And I don't know, it had more of like its own Halo flavor. They announced some new content, some new missions for it. I'm probably not going to pick it up day one, but I'm definitely a lot more interested in it, and I think this is the right call, just considering on how much of a downfall trajectory Halo has been. It's probably good call. It's probably a good call to have Halo Studios, previously 343, kind of go back to the drawing board, tackle that first game, and really trying to find the sauce that worked, and then use that to kind of going to the Rayman thing. Rayman Legends was already awesome. You didn't need to revisit the sauce. Halo, I think, needs to like take a dip back into the sauce and find its roots
Yeah.
to kind of figure out where to go next. And so I actually, is it a cash grab? Probably, but I also think this is like the correct move to go to for the future. So.
I mean, like, what game isn't a cash grab? I guess in a way, right? But yeah, curious choice. I don't think Halo's ever gonna get back there. I don't think it's ever gonna get back to its peak where it was. But we'll see. I'm not going to go through every game here. I will point out 2 other quick games, though. Persona 6 was revealed at the end. Huge deal for a lot of people. I still have not played a Persona game. I feel confident I would love them. I just haven't gotten around to them yet. But as an RPG lover, I'm sure they'd be right up my alley. And, of course, I would have to imagine this was your highlight, Doom. The Dark Ages is getting Revelations DLC. Doom the Dark Ages.
Good lord, this game looks absolutely. This game looks like a whole sequel, not even just a DLC expansion. That comes out next month. I already have the premium edition of Doom: The Dark Ages, so I don't have to pay for it. It's just gonna download right into my Steam library, and I'm gonna play that. This looks absolutely insane. It's combining the combat of Dark Ages with like some of the high mobility and kind of the grapple combat that was introduced in Eternal, which is like my number 3 favorite game of all time. So having those two things combined just looks really cool. There's like a ton of like Doom 1 flashback stuff as well, so that's like getting me all giddy. Yeah, this just looks absolutely nutty, and yeah, cannot wait to play this expansion.
Okay, like really quickly, I just want to shout out a few things from the State of Play. Everybody had their directs this week, but the PlayStation State of Play had a few gems in there as well. Although I will also say I wasn't like blown away by anything here, but I think the new God of War game looks awesome. I still haven't played Ragnarok, but I would like to eventually. But this one looks really fun. I gotta say, Doom, the game of the show, like for me, I actually watched this entire thing, and this is the one game I probably am gonna get is Wolverine. This looks awesome.
Yeah,
this looks great.
Yeah. Wolverine looks. The problem with me is that like I don't have a PS5, and now the PS5 is ludicrously expensive.
I know.
And Sony announced. Normally, I would get this on PC, but Sony recently announced that all of their single player games are now going to be PlayStation exclusive moving forward, whereas their live service games are going to continue to be multi-plat. I'm going to guess Wolverine is not a live service game, which good. It should not. It shouldn't be a live service, but yeah, it looks amazing. I can't say it looks $700 worth amazing, unfortunately, though. So no. I might have to hold out on this one for a little bit. But yeah, Wolverine looks absolutely fantastic.
I agree. Like, there's never been that game. Like, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Death Stranding 2 were as close to me as, like, I gotta buy a PS5. But even then, I was like, I'm not... And now I haven't, and now I feel like it's too late. So, like, now I might just buy a PS6 when it comes out, and I'm sure that you'll get, like, Wolverine, 3-claw edition or something like that with all the DLC.
I am dreading what that cost of the PS6 is going to look like. I don't even want to think about that right now.
Oh, it's going to be stupid, dude. It's going to be ridiculous.
I did want to go back to the Microsoft showcase for a little bit. I know you're not a Gears guy, but I am, and I thought the Gears E-Day presentation looked absolutely phenomenal. This is going to be another day one buy for me.
Is this like a spin-off, or is it like a...
So it's a prequel. So it literally takes place on the day the locusts emerge from the Hollow in Sarah. So this is like the prequel on like the first.
This is the 2/3 of the game that I was missing when I played the first one.
Basically, yeah. Okay. But yeah, this game looks awesome. It's kind of because after Gears of War 1, the game started to kind of move away from its horror roots. It got a little bit more action focused, a little bit more colorful, which I also enjoyed. But Gears 1 has like a really unique atmosphere, and this prequel really seemed to like recapture that. Looks gorgeous, but it also has some of that more action-y elements too. Like the characters all feel weighty, but there's still a little bit more mobility to them as well. Like, they added a slide option, which, as far as I'm concerned, there's never a wrong time to add a slide in a game. The new slide looks great. Well, it seems like it works great with the cover mechanics. You can now go to, like, you're not limited to just chest high cover now. You can go to, like, cover that's way higher. Now, you can jump now, which is something you've never been able to do in a Gears game before, kind of like pre Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda kind of there. So yeah, I thought that this looked absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, this and Castlevania are gonna occupy my October 100%.
I think I got it wrong too. I think Castlevania was not Summer Games Fest. It was an Xbox show as well. So,
you know what? You're right.
We got to put some respect on the Xbox game showcase here for this. Okay, let's talk about the Nintendo Direct that just happened. As we record this Nintendo Direct is like 3.5 hours old. Not even. So, I think that reaction was mixed to this. There was a lot of people at Omega in our Discord not very pleased. There was a lot of people in Zelda Dungeons Discord not very pleased. I think that there is probably more to be excited about in the Zelda Dungeon Discord, but so the big rumor was like, hey, we're going to get a Super Metroid remake. And the other big rumor, which, spoiler, did present itself as fact, was that we are getting an Ocarina of Time remake. And I think if like the roles had been reversed and Super Metroid was announced instead of Ocarina of Time, I think you would have still got the same kind of mixed reaction that you got over like on both servers, I guess I would say. A lot of my Zelda colleagues were kind of like, like no one's asking for this, but some are like, well, it's here, we can be excited, and some are just kind of not on that same wavelength at all. So there was no Metroid to be found at all in this Direct, unfortunately. So it certainly seems like the chances for Metroid 6 in 2026 took a big hit today. If not, just completely closed the door on them. You have to think if it was coming out this year, it's probably being announced today, I would imagine. So you know what? Maybe we can get to September and we can have a Nintendo Direct there and get the announcement at least this year. But it would seem like Metroid 6, Metroid anything really, is probably a stretch for 2026 based off of today's announcement. Would you concur with that?
You know what? Echo's NSO is still on the table. No, it's not. We're done this year. It ain't happening.
Yeah, new Metroid. I could say. I mean, they could just like drop Echoes anytime that they wanted to. Just be like, oh, did you check Nintendo today? This great app that we have. It's on there. All right, let's go through painstakingly, game by game, and we can talk for as much or as little as we want to about this Nintendo Direct. And when I started the Direct this morning, I was kind of like, okay, I think if they're going to show a Super Metroid remake, it's going to be in the opening position of this Nintendo Direct. And when the Nintendo Direct started, instead of the galaxy is at peace and all that famous intro, instead we were greeted with this weird little 4 dudes with like umbrellas, and Rhythm Heaven Groove is kicking off the Nintendo Direct, which I will say I think is a curious decision given that this is not a Nintendo Switch 2 game. It's a Nintendo Switch game. You know what? I mean, I've never played Rhythm Heaven. This doesn't look up my alley.
This game was revealed last year during the Nintendo Direct that was before the Switch 2 Direct.
Yeah, this game has like taken for like, this is a game that you should have revealed and like 3 months later it's out.
Yeah. And listen, I'm happy that Rhythm Heaven is coming back. It's been ages since we've had a Rhythm Heaven game. I was definitely more excited when it was revealed last year than that, because at this point we've already seen so much of the game and it's coming out next month. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna give away my thoughts of the Direct right now. The second that they opened the Direct with this, that's when I knew, oh, this is gonna be a dry Direct.
Yeah, a lot of people would share that sentiment. I will say I thought the Direct took a while to get going, but let's go through the games here and let's kind of see where we're at. I will say one of the positives. So the next game was Onimusha Way of the Sword, which is coming out at the same time as like the PlayStation 5, Xbox version of the games as well. So like, I mean, I'm not gonna get this. I remember Onimusha, from the PlayStation 2 days, and it was like fine, but not really a game for me, but I do kind of appreciate, like, one, this game, like, visually looks really great, and two, it's releasing at the same time. So, like, hopefully that trend kind of continues, because as we'll talk about in a little bit, like, I really do think that, like, the Switch 2 has relied on third-party releases much more than any other Nintendo console in its first year that I can recall off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to say this game was announced last year. I think a lot of people that demoed the game really enjoyed it, from what I understand. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Capcom's been on an absolute hot streak for like the last decade, so I would imagine that this game is probably going to be pretty quality. So
yeah, totally. All right, Dragon's Dogma 2, Dark Arisen. What a name for a game. There was like 3 trailers that I watched today, and I was like, oh, cool, they're bringing Dragon Age to Nintendo Switch, and none of them were Dragon Age. And this was the first of those 3. So, yeah, I don't know, it looks fine. I'm not going to pick it up, but, you know, it kind of neat, I guess. Stellar Blade is next. I guess this is kind of like a Souls-like, I guess. Looks too Bayonetta for me. I'm not a Bayonetta fan really at all.
I was about to say it's definitely more of a Bayonetta type of game, from what I
Yeah.
understand. I haven't played it myself, but
Yeah, that one I think, you know, kind of looks. It looks okay. Orbitals is coming out in September, the 3rd of September. I'm still like, I think this game looks really cool. It's got like the Daft Punk anime style to it, but I'm not really sure like what this game is. If it's like I think they said it was like a rhythm game or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, there was like a bunch of different gameplay styles that show up. I think the game looks gorgeous. I love.
I think it looks cool.
But yeah, in terms of the gameplay, yeah, I don't know.
I could be convinced to buy this if it like reviews super super well. You know, like
Yeah.
this one would be like a maybe for me. So we'll see. I guess it's coming out in a couple months, so we'll see what it's like. Rayman Legends Retold coming out October 1st, 2026. My birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Rayman. I think is like, it's okay. I played Rayman. I played like one of them on the Wii U. It was okay.
Yeah, you probably played Legends, the game that this
Probably.
is remaking.
Yeah. I
you
know that
Rayman
you were a lot higher on this game than I was. And not that I thought it was a bad game, just like it. I don't know. It was okay.
Yeah, you get Rayman on your birthday. I get the Switch 2 price increase on my birthday.
We are not the same, Doom. We are not the same. Dude, how about this next game? Big Walk.
This game looks goofy.
I actually
dig it. I'm not
don't
gonna play
hate
it, but
this
I dig
game.
it.
I gotta say,
Yeah.
I was kind of charmed with this game. Like, I was just like, what the hell is this? I don't know who makes this. I skipped over that in the trailer. By House, I guess. So, you know what? Hey, looks cute. All right, we got a One Piece game next. It's like a cooking game. Whatever. We got Pokemon Pokopia free DLC update. So you got the paid expansion pass DLC coming today, and I think that this is actually like a pretty big deal. Like Pokopia has been like one of the major Smash successes of the Switch 2. It's like probably the best reviewed game for the Switch 2 in the first year as well. So I thought this DLC looked really good actually for like what it is. Yeah, like, not a game for me, but like I'm sure a lot of people will be pretty happy with this, and it is very funny that we're getting like DLC for this game before Mario Kart.
It's actually that's like the one thing that I was like expecting, the one new thing aside from Ocarina of Time remake that I was expecting in this direct, and I'm actually stunned we still have nothing from Mario Kart World.
It feels like they've just like given up on Mario Kart World. Like I don't know what is going on with that. All right, let's.
We finally got the soundtrack on Nintendo Music, so there's that. That should have happened a year ago, but
there we go. I thought this next game was probably the highlight of this entire direct, and that was an in-depth look and a release date for Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. I have no doubt that like this game is going to be exceptional. Fire Emblem has been on like an incredible heater for like the last 10 years. Like each game that they've released has been killer. So I thought that this one looked really cool. You can choose between like your 4 heroes. It's got kind of a cool looking plot going on. A little bit more like ancient Roman Colosseum kind of vibes rather than your like traditional like European style kingdoms. I thought that this looked like really, really awesome. It's got, I mean, your classic Fire Emblem gameplay, which is formula for success right there. So yeah, and I was excited to see that it's coming out somewhat quickly. So this is going to be like I'll buy this one when it comes out. Yeah, I think Fire Emblem has just been like one of Nintendo's best series in terms of quality for like a long time.
I'm gonna play Awakening eventually, and someday I will finally get this series. The time is not yet, but I will try it someday.
It's like it's incredibly addictive gameplay. Like it's really, really great. I couldn't recommend it enough. It looks like too, so at the end of the trailer here for Fortune's Weave, we did see the character of Sothis, and that is the kind of the youngish looking girl with like long green hair, who is also present in Fire Emblem Three Houses as well. So maybe there's a little bit of crossover there. There are some Fire Emblem characters that kind of like do appear in a lot of different games, although there's no real explanation given as to why. It's kind of like Sid in Final Fantasy, so we'll see if this works out. But I thought this game looked awesome, dude. I thought it looked really great. Let's go over to Ninjala 2, the Uncharted Planet, releasing in spring of 2027. Is this like a big series, Ninjala? I don't know.
I vaguely remember this on the first Switch in one direct. I never played it. Who asked for this?
I don't know. I guess everybody that played and enjoyed Ninjala 1, I guess. I think the game looks fine for what it is. Like I wouldn't buy it, but it looks fine. Moving on, we've got the Donkey Kong Challenge. Are you going to be participating, Doom, in the Donkey Kong Challenge?
I am not going to be participating in the Donkey Kong Challenge. I'm not a true Donkey Kong fan.
Well, that's too bad. This is kind of a weird one, but I don't like hate the idea of kind of doing this. Like, if there's a Metroid challenge where like you needed to go back and play like a couple of different Metroid games, like I totally do that as well. So I think it's like kind of a neat little idea. Am I gonna like try this? I don't know. Probably not. But
I was expecting some reward or prize at the end. Not necessarily like a cash prize or a physical good, but I was expecting something, and it's just like, nope, you just have the satisfaction of doing it. Kind of like achievements almost, but it's like they're limited time events rather than like permanent. So I don't know. Maybe I'll understand it when it launches, but I didn't think the Direct did a good job of like conveying like what the point and the satisfaction was.
Yeah. So I'm going to skip over the next couple. Well, I'm not going to skip over. I'll shout them out, but we'll go quickly here. Jujutsu Kaisen Rumble. There you go.
I don't remember this game at all.
I don't remember it either, if I'm being totally honest. It looks identical to Persona. Oh, this is that like battle royal game where you got to beat like 100 monsters and you fight with someone at the end of it or whatever. It's from the makers of Vampire Hunter. Or Vampire Survivor. I don't know. I haven't played that game either, to be honest.
Now I remember that game. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's for me. Lords of the Fallen 2 is the next game on the docket, and I'm pretty sure this is the second time I was like, oh, sick, Dragon Age is coming to Nintendo Switch. And it is not coming to Nintendo Switch. Lies of P. Is that how you say this game? P? Pie?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard about this game before.
I know Game Worm is a big Lies of P fan, so I'm sure he's pretty excited for this one right here. This is the complete edition, I believe, that includes.
Dude, that makes me instantly skeptical. Every game that I have played that Game Worm has recommended me is not for me. I'm going through. Spoiler: this is going to be a future inspired by Metroid, coming probably sooner than later. But I'm going through Nine Souls right now, and I'm like really enjoying it on one hand, but on the other hand, it's incredibly frustrating. So if this is anything like that, I'm skipping it. I'm skipping it.
You're probably not. It's more. This one definitely is a Souls-like. I don't think this one's going to be up your alley.
I don't know that it will be either. All right, let's keep going. Devil May Cry 5. That's neat. I've never liked Devil May Cry, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, I think you told me you're not really into like the combo hack and slash type of games.
Not really. I also like. I think it's tough when like your series is based around a dude that's just like supposed to be so cool. And like if you don't find that person cool and you find like they're maybe trying a little bit hard, it just kind of it ruins everything, you know?
Gotcha.
Maybe that's just me, but I don't think Dante is particularly cool.
I don't know. He gives off some Fred Durst energy on occasion.
Well, I guess. Certainly in this trailer, he's got the dad Fred Durst vibes going. Muramasa, Revenant Blades. I was like, where Muramasa? Where have I heard that before? And I was like, wait a second. There's a trophy or like a sticker or something in Smash Bros. From this series, right? Is my memory correct?
Maybe. That does sound vaguely familiar. Yeah,
I am pretty sure. And I was like, is this like a Nintendo game? And I don't think it is. I saw someone on Blue Sky say that this game was a port of like a PS Vita game. I could be like completely off the mark here. Like completely off the mark. People are probably going nuts listening to me describe this. I thought that this looked like kind of cool. I wouldn't go out of my way to like buy it, but if it reviewed like super well, I could be swayed to get this.
Have anything to add?
Xenoblade Chronicles Trilogy, Nintendo Switch 2 updates. Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
I think that these are going to be paid updates though, which is kind of lame.
They are. They revealed that these are $10 each, so you're paying $30 to upgrade all three of these games.
Yeah.
At least in North American dollars.
Definitely
or
not
United
not
States
do
dollars.
That. These games look fine, like as is. Like they look more than fine, I think so. But that transitioned us into the reveal of Xenoblade Genesis. Dude, I think this game looks awesome. This looks like a killer open world 3D RPG. I know that Xenoblade gets a lot of flack, and I don't really know why for a lot of the audience, like other than it just has like an anime art style, but like whatever, you know what I mean? Like I watch the Game Awards, and every single reveal is like a futuristic, bleak 3D shooter that looks exactly the same to me. So I thought that this trailer looked really cool. I really liked the world. It does look like it's taking a little bit of inspiration from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Looks like you've kind of got a little bit of a school setting in there as well. But you know, you get kind of the classic giant enemies, the big landscapes, like classic Xenoblade kind of style presentation there. So I think that this one looks a little bit more like Xenoblade Chronicles X to me than maybe the trilogy, but I think that this is going to be really cool. And, you know, Xenoblade has always just delivered really great gameplay and like pretty cool stories for the most part. So I'm definitely going to check this one out when it comes out in 2027. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, definitely a great direct for the Xenoblade fans. I mean, literally just fully fed.
Yeah. Can't ask for more, except for maybe free upgrade packs.
Right.
Here we go. To many, the main event of this Nintendo Direct. Nintendo Switch Sports Resort, releasing October 22nd, 2026. And if you have ever wanted to win a thumb war against your friend, but you're not in the same city, you can't be in the same space, but you just want to beat their ass anyways, this is the game for you. I like really enjoy these, like I just like they're charming games, like and I'm not gonna buy this, like I'm definitely not gonna buy this, but I'm just like, these are like charming games for those who want them. I will say though, dude, like the moments where they were doing like the live thumb war after, I was like, this felt like it took forever. it was like the classic Sideshow Bob bit, you know, where like he steps on the rakes, and it's like, it's funny, and then it goes on way too long, and then just because of how long it goes on, it's actually funny again because it's so awkward. This could have been saved for the Treehouse, assuredly, but
yeah.
But hey,
we did.
there it is.
I will say we did get a fantastic Koizumi gif out of this.
Yes,
but
I posted it actually. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Is he laughing? Is he doing something else? I don't know. Not sure.
Yeah, you'll have to watch to find out.
Yes.
But yeah, otherwise, yeah, this definitely overstayed its welcome, I think.
A little bit, yeah. You know what, I do like I like that these games are like kind of still being made, though. I think they're charming. I just kind of think like man, imagine if like this had just launched with the Nintendo Switch 2. You know what I mean? Like it was just like
Right.
It came out alongside Mario Kart and was like packaged in. I think like that's the formula for success for these types of games.
I was about to say this would have been a great pack-in game, right? Something that like this along with that that Nintendo Switch demo. This would have been way better than the Switch 2 demo. I don't care about that thing at all. This would have actually been like a neat little pack-in.
Like I would have paid like if rewind a year and it's like, should I buy this with Mario Kart or should I buy this with like Nintendo Switch Sports? Like I might have went for Nintendo Switch Sports because I'm not a big Mario Kart guy, and like I would play it if I had it, but I'm not going out of my way to play it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it does feel like this came a little bit late, but I actually have no idea how Nintendo Switch Sports did, so maybe it did well enough that
it did exceptionally well. It sold over 15 million copies.
Holy cow! Did it really?
Yeah. I'm dead serious. I'm actually kind of jealous of how successful that game was compared to some of my favorite series, including one we do a podcast about. But
yeah, dude, that's wow, that's nuts. I guess I'm not like incredibly. I'm not like incredibly surprised. Like the first one sold like super well, but obviously that was packed in. But yeah, no, I mean like it's for anybody wondering why they dedicated as much time as they did to Nintendo Sports Resort. That's probably your reason why right there. So, all right, let's keep going here. We have next on the docket. Dragon Age is coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Oh wait, it's RuneScape Dragon Wilds. God damn. They got me again. It's okay, though, because they made up for it with the announcement coming exclusively to Nintendo Switch. Hello Kitty Party Land. Doom already has this pre-ordered, I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, day one, along with the Barbie Retro Collection. Actually, you know what? It's a little bit off topic, but one other thing I forgot to discuss from Summer Games Fest, the Toy Story Retro Collection, that looks rad as heck. I've never played any of those Toy Story games before, but I've heard they're actually really fun. So I might check that out if they go on sale. Anyways, back on topic.
Well, hold on, because I'm going to one-up you there, okay? So I've never played any of those Toy Story games. I've never watched any of the Toy Story movies. Ever. I think I've revealed that on this podcast before. So Doom actually has his noise cancellation just like cut out his like yelp that he just made as I said that. I don't know. I never got around to it. What can I say?
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, you got to at the very least you got to watch the original trilogy. A lot of people didn't like. I love Toy Story 4. A lot of people didn't like it, but I mean, you got to watch the original trilogy. Like that's literally like one of the greatest like trilogies of all time.
I'm sure it'll be great. I just haven't. You know what? Maybe when my nephew is like old enough in a couple of years, we'll check it out. Okay, we got another look at Star Fox. There's a free demo out today, right now, for you guys to check out. I don't know, nothing new added here, but Star Fox is there, so there we go. I really liked this next game, Doom. It's Final Fantasy Resonance, which is the first original 2D HD Final Fantasy game. I thought that this looked pretty cool, and this is one I will say I want to see how it reviews, because if it bombs, I'm not going to get it. But like, if the reviews are even like a couple 8.5s out of 10, I'm going to get this. I think this looks really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool because like I know a lot of people wanted like kind of an original throwback kind of retro RPG style Final Fantasy, and hey, now we're getting it. That's awesome.
Yeah. The only thing I was kind of like a little bit iffy about was like you can summon heroes from past games, and I was like, it seems like kind of like what a mobile game gimmick that you would do,
yeah.
You know? And it can be done well. Like Fire Emblem Engage did that, and they did it well, but I would say the hit rate for that isn't like super, super successful. So it's coming out the same time as Castlevania in October as well, and I mean it's directly competing with the aforementioned Nintendo Switch Sports Resort. They're coming out the same day on the 22nd, so we'll see which one of these gets my dollars. Pico Niku 2. Have you heard of Pico Nico 1?
I maybe in passing, but not off the top of my head right now. No,
dude, this trailer starts off and it's like, what did they say? Like, what if frogs, like, and like a magical potato have in common? And I was like, what are we watching right now? What in God's name is this game? But it was there.
This is the point of the direct where I was completely tuned out at this point. Like I was doing like completely separate tasks.
I was still watching. I had a unique circumstance watching it this morning, so this direct was a much welcome and much needed kind of distraction for me. So I was definitely tuning in, which is also maybe why I liked it a little bit more than some other people did. But we'll keep going here. Dragon Quest Monsters. Fair. I thought this looked rough. To be honest, yeah. The Duskbloods from Software's next game for Nintendo Switch is coming out in 2026 at some time. There is closed network testing this summer. There was no release date shown. There was no real big trailer. Like there was a minute trailer, but it was just a bunch of like still images. I am not sold on this at all.
Well, again, you're not a Souls-like guy, and this is a From Software game. I'm guessing it's probably not going to be up your alley. To be fair, I've never played any of these Souls games either, but I again, that's another one where like Fire Emblem Awakening, it's like I want to do it someday, but I don't know when the time will be right.
Yeah, like I thought, like I don't hate these games. Like there are elements about Elden Ring, about Bloodborne that I really enjoy, but there's a lot of elements that I really don't enjoy like at all. So I mean I think that this one's going to be like a totally different beast though. Like, because it's a multiplayer focused game. I don't know, but I'm not sold based on what we've seen. Splatoon Raiders is coming out in a couple of weeks. It's got its own direct coming at the end of June. Some new Joy-Cons that are coming out, and we got to see some gameplay. I mean, I think this game looks fine. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I still haven't played Splatoon 3, and I'll probably play that first before I play Raiders. So that's definitely neat, but not on my radar at the moment.
I think I would play this before Splatoon 3. Like, I think Splatoon is, like, perfect for, like, a good single-player platformer like this. So we'll see if this scratches that itch. I wasn't, like... It looked like multiplayer... Not multiplayer, but it looked kind of just, like... It didn't look like as much platforming as I wanted from this game, rather than... It was more so, like, combat-focused, so... We'll see how the reviews come in for this game. Deltarune Chapter 5, I know that's a big deal for a lot of people. I have not gotten into Deltarune. I've played Undertale. I think it's a fine game, but yeah. Nothing really for this one for me. I thought that this next game actually looked kind of cool. Metaphor Re Fantasio coming out in November. It looks a lot like Persona, but had like a pretty cool art style. I thought it looked good.
Yeah, so this game came out a couple of years ago, actually. Yeah. And it is from the Persona team. So yeah, it's getting ported to Switch now, so that's definitely cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Is this game supposed to be good? I've never really heard of it.
It's supposed to be fantastic from what I heard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go. We got Minecraft, Nintendo Switch 2 version. I thought it was already on Nintendo Switch 2, but I guess not. Of course, we got the sizzle reel with all of your games that could afford to be in the Nintendo Direct, but not afford to pay their own premium for this. And we got a little glimpse of Solid Snake in there as well. So there you go. August, Solid Snake is coming to your Nintendo Switch. The Kingdom Hearts collection, dude. We talk about Halo as a series that just like feels to me like it's just never going to recapture what it once was. Kingdom Hearts I would put right up there with it, which is crazy because like Disney as a brand has unfortunately never been stronger, but I don't know, man. I think, as we'll talk about in a second with Kingdom Hearts 4, like, these games just have no magic anymore. Like, none.
Yeah, I'm not a Kingdom Hearts guy. I have a lot of Kingdom Hearts friends, though, that were very excited. Because, basically, I remember back when Sora came to Smash, they announced that the games were coming to Switch, but it was the Cloud Editions, which nobody likes, obviously, because those are doo-doo. So, nice that we're finally getting actual ports. with the Switch 2, obviously, so they're gonna look a lot better as well. But mostly just the fact that they're not those damn cloud versions. And a new look at Kingdom Hearts 4 too. So again, happy for the Kingdom Hearts fans. But yeah, not really my cup of tea.
I think that like the release of Kingdom Hearts games is so insane. You've got 3 separate trilogies here, and they haven't released Kingdom Hearts 4. Like you've got Kingdom Hearts 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. Like it's just craziness. Like the amount of like weird spin-offs that Kingdom Hearts has had. Like I was big into Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, but like after that I was like, this is impossible to follow. We had a trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. Dude, I think this game looks terrible. This game, I think, looks so bleak and bland and lifeless, dude. Like, this trailer was all gray. Sora feels tonally, this felt like a complete, like, it did not fit with Kingdom Hearts at all. Like, this felt like it was from Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, except you've got Sora doing goofy moves with his Keyblade. And Sora, like these characters look... These just do not look like Kingdom Hearts characters. You've got like generic Final Fantasy villains in here. It totally just this didn't work for me at all. Like I could not fathom being excited for Kingdom Hearts 4 based off this trailer. I thought that this was awful.
They're gonna come after you for that one, Andy.
I'm sorry, man. This looks terrible. Like I don't know what to say. Like I don't know what city that they're in. Maybe it's because I haven't kept up with Kingdom Hearts, but like you couldn't convince me. Like the big part of Kingdom Hearts is like the magic of all of the different like characters interacting with Sora, who also was a whimsical, colorful character itself, and like you had like the cool story of the dark or the heartless and the nothing or whatever they're called, and like I don't know what this game is, but it had no magic to me. I was really like as someone that used to be a Kingdom Hearts fan, that you're appealing to me, like someone who, if you had a great trailer for a Kingdom Hearts game and you're looking to bring back in lapsed fans, like that, I'm a lapsed fan, and like this just made me be like, oh my god, like what happened to Kingdom Hearts? I don't know.
Zero out of 10. No magic.
No magic. No magic at all. So yeah, rough. It's gonna launch at the same time though as all the other consoles, so that's good. That's a plus for Nintendo, but man, I don't know about that one. All right, and of course, one last thing, Doom. The rumors were true. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which I will have to say is annoyingly just named Ocarina of Time. I hate that. I'm sure that when Super Metroid comes out, like the remake, if it ever comes out, it's just to be called Super Metroid, which also is like awful.
Yeah, we were talking about this with Star Fox. Same thing holds there. I hate it.
So the rumors were true. We got an intro trailer here. I gotta say actually, so as a lot of you know, I got a sleeve, like a half sleeve done with the Breath of the Wild tapestry, and I wanted to do something in a similar style for the rest of my sleeve, and I was like, I wish there was more of the Breath of the Wild tapestry, but like Ocarina of Time is my favorite game, so I wish it was Ocarina of Time. And by God, they showed a tapestry here, and I was like, I'm gonna get this tattooed. So that was neat. Nice. Thank you for that, Nintendo. Yeah. So here we go.
This trailer was awful. I'm gonna just say it right now. This trailer was awful. Like you can't just release a game at the end of the year, announce it in June, and then only show like 5 seconds like that. That's like actually insane.
I'm very curious.
I'm not saying the game is going to be awful. Good announcement. I'm saying the trailer itself was awful though.
It's it is a little bit weird that we didn't see any more footage of this game. You would think that there was going to be a lot of footage shown, or at the very least like a dedicated Ocarina of Time direct, if they were not going to do that. So yeah, it's coming. I don't know if anyone was clamoring for it necessarily, but like, you know, a lot of people are very excited about this. Reactions were definitely mixed in the Zelda Dungeon Discord, and I don't know I want to see more of this game before I kind of weigh in on the art style. The art style was definitely weird, I would say. That was my first reaction. I was like, this looks strange. And maybe I'm just used to seeing the Breath of the Wild art style because it's been that way for the last 10 years. But this one was weird, I would say. But I would definitely give the game some more rope to see like what this is going to look like. It's kind of like a hyper realistic looking art style, which I don't know has ever gelled necessarily super well with Zelda, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Like I'm sure the game is gonna be great. Like
it definitely. I'm sure once we see the actual gameplay, it'll look good. But definitely at a first glance, it definitely gave me those kind of Unreal Engine 5 Nintendo parody kind of videos of like
a little bit.
What would Nintendo. Like, this is Nintendo graphics in 2013. That kind of meme. That's kind of what it reminded me. But I think that was just that one shot. I'm sure it'll look good later. But yeah. It didn't help as well that this was so heavily rumored right before the direct. But
totally
again, even if this was a surprise, like just showing that little footage, that was not the play, in my opinion.
It could have done with a bit more. It just could have done with like a proper trailer that had more footage in it. I don't think it needed to be like in the treehouse necessarily, but like it probably could have benefited from like a minute of actual gameplay footage trailer, seeing what Gerudo Desert looked like, seeing what like Hylia looked like, seeing what Hyrule Castle looked like. I think that would have benefited greatly. I mean, I'm sure we're going to get that in September. I would have to imagine that Ocarina of Time is going to have a big showcase in the Nintendo Direct there, because I imagine this game is releasing in November, would be my guess. But that was the announcement. Well, actually, but there was one more thing. New Nintendo president Devin Pritchard. I like to feel the controller in my hand, and that's how I get a feel for games, she says. Okay, you got it.
Yeah
Let's play some Nintendo Switch Sports and thumbware each other. I thought that this direct,
you need a controller, because the Kinect is only on the Xbox.
Well, there you go. I thought that this direct was like fine. I'm not gonna say it was the best Nintendo Direct. Like, it certainly was not the best Nintendo Direct of all time. I don't think it was as bad as a lot of people were kind of saying. Like, there were a lot of games that I thought looked really, really good here. Like Fire Emblem, Xenoblade, Final Fantasy, I think looked really great. I mean, I'm excited. You know what? I didn't ask for it, but if they're going to do it, I'm going to be excited for an Ocarina of Time remake. I think that looks cool. A couple other games that I think look neat as well. So, I would give it like a thumbs in the middle, slight thumbs up, maybe. Like, I don't know, if I'm going to grade it, it's like a B-.
I was pretty disappointed. I've already posted my grades in the Discord, but basically, I gave this presentation a D. I gave Sony and Microsoft's presentations a B, and I gave Summer Games Fest an A, probably an A- in hindsight. But that's kind of how I grade all the presentations.
I would say for me, like, this certainly beat out Microsoft and Sony. But that's just kind of like, I'm more so like, I know that I will buy like 3 or 4 games on this list, and I don't know if I'm going to buy any of those games shown over there. Like, definitely not Xbox. I'll buy Castlevania, and if I had a PS5, I'd buy Wolverine. But other than that, like, I don't know, man.
$700.
Give me that Wolverine game. No, I think a lot of people kind of were more so on your camp. I think a D is like really crazy. Like, that's way too low. But I mean, hey, that's I think a lot of people, probably more people, would agree with you than they would me. Put it that way. So there we go. Our first Nintendo Direct of the year. First Nintendo Direct in a long time. I can't remember the last one.
I think September of last year. It's been 9 months. And
honestly, I think what was the one more thing from that one? Oh, it was Fire Emblem. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Fire Emblem. Yeah. That's also when we got Viola revealed for Metroid Prime 4. What else was revealed in that direct? I can't even remember.
God, that was forever and ever ago.
Yeah.
That was a weak Nintendo Direct too. This is certainly better than the last Nintendo Direct that we saw, because it really just had Fire Emblem, Pokemon, and Metroid.
I think I like the September Direct more, but that's just because I was really hyped for that Metroid Prime 4 trailer at the time. We don't have to talk about what happened after, but I was really excited at the time. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that also played a role into this because like if we're like grading like the literal worst Nintendo Directs of all time, I don't think this even comes close. But I think in the
No.
context, I think if you're in the context of like we're waiting 9 months, we're starving for information, and like this is it. And again, for your big one more thing that's releasing this year in less than 6 months at this point, and you barely show any of it. It's just like what are we doing here?
Yeah, I think that's um, a fair critique to have of that trailer. I certainly would have liked to see more for sure. So yeah, that I'm not like, listen, I'm not defending this direct. Like if you're just like, this was an awful direct, I'm not fighting for it. I'm just be like, okay, well, there's a couple games that I like, but certainly if you're kind of like our friend Dak, who just like sees anything anime and wants to throw up, like, yeah, this was not the direct for you. But like if you can broaden your horizons a bit, then there was some good stuff to like in this direct, but certainly not going to go down as like one of the all-time great Nintendo Directs, that's for sure. And I will say too, to pivot to our next topic here, Doom, the context of like what I would describe as a fairly lackluster year one of the Switch 2 certainly does not help. This direct goes down a lot easier if you have like some massive games that have come out in the last year, when arguably your biggest games are Pokopia and Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah, 100%.
So I did a big show on the Zelda cast with Allison this last week, just kind of looking back at the first year of the Switch 2. We went through all of the games, we went through all of the kind of the hardware and how the Switch 2 hardware is holding up. So I don't want to spend a ton of time myself talking about this. Doom, I gave a letter grade to the Switch 2's first year. So I want you to do the same thing. I originally gave it a C+. Allison talked me up to a B-, and the reason she did that is because we went through, and we're going to do this again here today. We're going to play a game, but we went through and we went and graded the first year in terms of first party release titles within the first calendar year of every single Nintendo console and handheld ever. And so I was like C- for the Switch 2. And I saw some of the other first years for these other consoles, and I was like, oh, you know what? This is a B-. Like, this is not that rough.
Yeah, I definitely, I think at the very least it beats out the Wii U for sure. Like, good lord,
it beats out the Wii U for sure. Yes. Yeah. There's not, there is one console that is worse than the Wii U, I will say. But I'd like to hear just your thoughts on your letter grades, your retrospective and review of the first year of the Nintendo Switch.
Hey there, folks. Andy had to step out, so I'm going to close out the episode for us today. We were just on our last topic, so this shouldn't take too long. But yeah, we were talking about our thoughts on the Switch 2 Year 1 lineup. And before Andy left, he mentioned that he was initially going to give it a C rating, but after talking with Allison about it on the Zelda cast, he upped his score to a B rating. And so I already had a score picked, at least on my end, but I figured that I would kind of check out the other Nintendo launch lineups as well, the Year 1 lineups, I should say, to see if that would change my mind. And spoiler alert, this is my fourth take, and so I've already kind of made up my mind, and my score actually has not changed after looking at this, but I'm not going to leave you there. I'll explain my process kind of going forward this. So before I start, I want to say the graphic I'm looking at right now, since I'm doing this off the cuff, this is a graphic that was made by MewWeeb2 from Reddit, so shout outs to them. This graphic is not perfect, however. There are some key items missing. First off, it has most of the launch console Year 1 lineups, but it's missing the handheld consoles, so there's a lot missing there. It's also weirdly missing the NES and the SNES. It's missing the Virtual Boy too, but like, who cares? Virtual Boy's obviously the worst, so whatever. But yeah, there's definitely some missing additions. I feel like even with this though, this is still like a good ballpark to to kind of guide me to where I stand on the Switch 2. And like I said, I don't really think this changed my mind. If in fact, if anything, it kind of reinforced my opinion. We'll get to that later. So to kind of get the news out of the way, my initial score that I gave the Switch 2 lineup was a D, and I'm sticking with that. I'm giving this a D rating. And the reason why is because if you look at the actual titles themselves, it's got a lot of big names on here. You got Mario Kart World, this ambitious new open world Mario Kart. You got Donkey Kong Bonanza, this ambitious new 3D Donkey Kong game, the first one since DK64. You got Metroid Prime 4. You have all the, you have some good Switch 2 editions as well, like, Breath of the Wild, for example. Really big names here that are very appealing to me, but as a lot of these big games just have not resonated with me. We've talked about Metroid Prime 4 a lot on the podcast. Mario Kart World, the open world, it's really ambitious, but it just doesn't quite go far enough in the free roaming aspect. And the actual racing aspect, I think, taking away the most of the 3-lap tracks, making them 1 lap, and then focusing on these routes instead, I feel like that really killed off, a core component of what I enjoy about Mario Kart. And so those were like my 2 most anticipated games, and they both were just incredibly disappointing for me. And then Donkey Kong, I actually started playing that. I started playing that just before I moved into this new place. So I haven't gotten super far into it because I had to put it down for a bit. And it's going to be a little bit before I get back onto it. I'm only on the 3rd world, but even that game, when that trailer dropped in the Switch 2 Direct, like, I was really excited. It looked cool. It looked ambitious, but I'm playing it now, and the big focus seems to be on the digging mechanic, and that just has not appealed to me at all. I find the digging very tedious and boring. I'm a lot more interested in the platforming, and so far the platforming just feels kind of basic. It's fine for what it is, but it hasn't really grabbed me the way I was hoping yet. So hoping that improves yet. I'm still like pretty early in the game. And I know the finale gets pretty crazy, but I'm hoping the finale doesn't just carry this game, because I know a lot of people really like this game. It has a 90 on Metacritic, but just hasn't sunk its claws into me just yet. And then I obviously, I know Pokopia is big, and that definitely counts for something, even though it's not my type of game. So I do want to give credit to Pokopia. But yeah, I just find the Switch 1's year 1 just really disappointing so far. And just to kind of go over what I wanted to kind of, trace over these year 1 lineups that I have in front of me right now. So on the N64, right off the bat, day 1, we have Super Mario 64. Right off the bat, that alone just wipes out the entire Switch 2 year 1, if I'm being completely honest. Like, Super Mario 64 is massive. But that's not all. You also got Wave Race 64. You got Mario Kart 64, Blast Corps, Star Fox 64, 007 GoldenEye. Goodness, what a year 1 lineup. That's fantastic. Going over to the GameCube, we got Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin, Smash Melee, Eternal Darkness, Mario Sunshine, Animal Crossing, Star Fox Adventures, Mario Party 4, Metroid Prime, the GOAT, Metroid Prime. And it's not on this list, but also Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2, Rogue Leader, another one of my all-time favorite games. Like, GameCube year 1 is just absolutely stacked. And then you go to the Wii, and when I think of the Wii, I don't think of killer apps, but I'm looking at this launch lineup. You got Wii Sports, you got Twilight Princess, which, to be fair, Andy doesn't like this game as much as I do, but I really like Twilight Princess. It's also my first Zelda game, so I hold it pretty close to me. Excite Truck, I think, is a criminally underrated racing game. I love Excite Truck. WarioWare Smooth Moves, I think that and Touch are like my 2 favorite WarioWare games. Strikers Charge, not quite as good as GameCube Strikers, but still pretty good. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, Super Mario Galaxy, my second favorite game of all time, right behind Metroid Prime. So yeah, Wii year 1 is also low-key kind of stacked as well. you definitely have your fair share of shovelware mixed in there, but I definitely think those heavy hitters absolutely shine through the BS. I'm gonna jump over to Switch One real quick, and you'll understand why in a moment. But Switch One, doesn't need much saying, but just to cover it, we got Zelda Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Even if we're talking base game before the DLC, I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a solid package on the Switch One. That battle mode alone really feels like it completes that game, and you also get some nice quality of life enhancements just to top it off. You got Inkling as a character as well. And speaking of Inkling, you got Splatoon 2 as well. You got Mario plus Rabbids, Super Mario Odyssey. Switch One Year One is absolutely fantastic. Here's the thing. I initially was going to give the Switch 2 a launch Year One a D, and I still do. If you had asked me to compare to other consoles, I would have initially been like, oh yeah, Wii U obviously goes below Switch One Year One. But man, I have the Wii U graphic in front of me, and I don't know. We got Nintendo Land. I love Nintendo Land. I think that's like my favorite. I think that's like my favorite pack-in game for like a Nintendo console. I think it's like some of the best use of the gamepad. The asymmetrical multiplayer is really fun with friends. The Metroid game is super fun. Co-op is something that Andy can definitely back up as well. You got Pikmin 3, which is great. Zelda Wind Waker HD, which is fantastic. My all-time favorite Zelda game. And you even got Mario 3D World, which is funny. That's like the one 3D Mario game I haven't played yet, even though I own it on Switch. I've played Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, but I haven't played 3D World yet somehow, even though I own it along with Bowser's Fury. So I'll definitely play that eventually, but like I'm fairly confident in saying that like 3D World is definitely worthy of like being a solid Year One launch title. And yeah, when comparing that to Switch 2, yeah, you can say a lot about the Wii U, and I certainly have a lot to say, but I don't know. I think in terms of the quality, I think it beats out the Switch 2, if I'm being honest. That's my spicy take of the pod. I think the Wii U Year One launch is somehow better than the Switch 2's Year One launch. That's my spicy take. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the podcast. Let me know your thoughts. Did I just commit a mortal sin by daring to put the Wii U's launch lineup, or the Year One lineup over the Switch 2's lineup? If we're talking about launch games, I think the Switch 2 definitely beats it in terms of day one. But but you all know what I mean. Yeah, did I commit a mortal sin, or do you actually agree with my spicy take? What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Let us know on our Blue Sky page. Join our Discord server. Chat with us there. We have a lot of conversation going on right now. Let us know what you thought about the Direct. Are you on more so my side? You thought it was underwhelming, or are you more Team Andy? Was that a solid Direct? What do you guys think? Give the pod a like. Check us out on Podbean, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcasts, we're probably there. And for all your Metroid one-stop fan shop needs, go to OmegaMetroid.com, where you can find all of our podcasts archived there for your convenience, news, opinion pieces, and of course our walkthroughs, arguably the shining star of OmegaMetroid.com. We'll definitely have more to come in the future, so stay tuned for that. And of course, yeah, that'll do it for us today, folks. Actually, you know what? No, we got to do the Patreon plug before we go. Can't forget the Patreon plug. Give us your money. You can check out our previous episodes of the Great Metroid Area, ranking along with our current ongoing series, Gooey Plays Metroid, who is now currently playing Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. That will do it for us today, folks. We'll see you all next week, and I will see you all next mission.